Hey guys, welcome back. I'm starting a new series called Game With Me. So today we're going to be playing some Planet Zoo. Typically when I play games like these, I like to keep a journal to help figure out where I'm at in the game and to pre-plan infrastructure and whatnot. It just keeps things super organized. So let's get in and pick some animals. This is what our lineup is looking like for this game. Honestly, most of them were just picked on vibes, so there really isn't a rhyme or reason to the animals I chose. I wasn't really going in with a theme in mind. I just kind of wanted the animals that I thought were super cute. After picking animals for our list, I did make sure to cross-reference a community Google sheet for Planet Zoo that kind of goes over like which animals are compatible, and then also like life expectancy and enclosure requirements, all that fun stuff. After picking animals, I put the animals into ChatGPT. That way I can plan out a bit of an inspiration map. This is to help plan zones and enclosures and kind of get a feel for, the flow of the zoo. These maps were printed on matte sticker paper, which is super convenient because it's just like regular paper you toss into your printer, it prints it off, and then you can just peel it off and stick it into your journal. So I did do two. I did a smaller one here, mostly for marking up just because I'm still in that planning phase. And then I did a larger reference one, which I will stick in the front of the journal. This just once again serves as inspiration, and then also kind of helps me visualize the different zones and biomes for all the animals that were originally on my list. So something to keep in mind is that we're not using this as a map that we're replicating over again in the game. We're just using it as inspiration to figure out pathing and zones and whatnot. So let's jump in and take a quick look at what I have so far in the game log journal. On the left here, I just kind of have a title page, and it's just adhered right to the front of the cover. And then next to it, I do have a blank page. This we're going to be using as a dashboard. So this is super fun because it also helps keep you organized, but you can just add sticky notes to it with tasks that you have to do in the game, or kind of ideas that you want to make sure to implement. You can just kind of jot them down and toss them in the front cover here. That way they stay forefront of the book and they're easy to access, and you can always just kind of open the book and check it real quick before you jump into your next part of the game with planning and decorating and organizing and all that fun stuff, especially when you're building a zoo from scratch, which is what we're doing here with the game today. Right on the front, right when you open the book. Absolutely love this idea. We're also only using a bullet journal, so really you can use whatever you have. So following this page, we of course have that mini map. This is just really great to have on hand. This is one that won't be marked up, but it shows all of the animals and all of the zones that they're going to live in, and it shows kind of a complex pathing structure that we can sort of loosely follow. We'll leave this page blank for now, but on the following pages I do have a reference page for all the animals included in the DLC packs. I do own all of them, so it was just kind of great to know what is available. And then I also have them written down here for the base game. I just left them in here for reference. Here is my list of animals that I had to fine tune down, and also potential pairings that could share an enclosure. And I also made sure to note down different enclosure zones that I was hoping to fill out. So this is kind of just organizing which animals will go into which areas, and then kind of a loose walking path direction. So you would walk through this zone, and then zone 2 and zone 3 and zone 4, and kind of what the layout would typically look like, even though the map on here is a little bit crazy and not so circular. Also, I got this super cute Penco clampy clip. I just figured I'd mention it just because I'm showing it here in the video. Super cute. So let's get started. Let's play some Starlight Zoo. Here we're going in and we're just choosing some of the presets. So I did do a flat map and I made sure to pick something that was temperate. That way we can include all different types of animals and then just bring in additional like heat maps or cold maps. So jumping in here, you can see that I've already got a parking lot down. This was not something that I built myself, but I did utilize blueprints on Steam. So one of the great things is that they offer a lot of different pre-builds that you can just pop right into your game. I do enjoy building with a lot of my own things, but some things like this, it's just super convenient to have and super helpful to kick off like a new build, for instance. One thing I did notice on here is that the grass was kind of peeking through the pavement, making things look a little hairy. So of course I had to go in here with the short grass and just kind of shave things down, if you will, just to clean it up a little bit here. I do have to give it to Planet Zoo though, because this entrance inside is actually so cute. And this is kind of what we're looking at as we're leaving the entrance building. So everything's pretty plain right now. There's a big awkward space for the pathing right by this tree, which is going to serve as kind of like, the entrance sign. Like as soon as you walk in, before you actually get fully into the zoo, typically they have a sign out there. So let's try to build one here really quick. I was struggling to find like an actual sign that was big and, that kind of thing. So we're gonna have to settle with this smaller one just for now until I can kind of source a better one. We'll play around with it and add some rocks and some flowers and just kind of make it look a little bit more cohesive and not so much just like a random green sign. Which conveniently is a great reason for that journal, because now I can add a little sticky note and make sure to remember to look into whether there's a better sign that I can be using, just for like a little bit of research outside of playing the game. But for now, that should be fine. So here we're just going to decorate the sign a little bit. We're going to add some rocks and some plants, maybe a couple flowers. And then some lighting, of course, just to kind of fill in a little bit of the space and make it look a little nicer than, just like a green sign. It's kind of the vibe we're going for. We're just going to go for like a nature and wildflower kind of look over here for now. So something I've never ever been a fan of is being able to see the actual guest entrance. I just don't feel like the outside looks very nice. I just prefer to cover it with a couple of trees. Some people like seeing theirs. That's great. Cool for you. I'm not a fan. I'd rather not see it. So using these big trees are kind of a great way to cover them up. And then we got into doing some lighting. I did already go in here and add some of the benches and trees, and I'm just trying to sort out which lighting looks best for this pathway. I really wasn't a fan of a lot of these, to be honest. I just kind of wanted something that was neutral, but it's definitely Planet Zoo, so like you're getting a little bit of everything here. I did come across this thing and I don't know what it is. I definitely don't want it. I don't know what I would use it for, but it's in there just in case you decide that you need a giant blob that glows. Planet Zoo's got you covered. In the end, I did decide to go with these iron, I don't know, they're very plain, but they're iron lights. I just felt they were the most neutral of the bunch. And so I just lined them up along the pathway. I tried to space them out as evenly as I could, and I did go in and change the settings just to show like nighttime hours, so that way I could see them at their full potential and just kind of make sure like not one area was too light or too dark, that kind of thing. And then of course I had to take a peek at golden hour because look how cute, look how pretty. I absolutely love how this turned out so far. I mean, the sign could be a little bit better. We're gonna work on that. That's going right in the journal, but overall I think this was a good first day. Next week we're gonna work on like a guest receiving areas for as soon as they get into the park. So if you have any ideas or any suggestions, feel free to drop a comment and let me know. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.